Let's listen to a call that came in on the listener call-in line.
Hello, this is Jeremiah calling from San Francisco, and I have one question. What should you do if you keep becoming angry? Or what should you do if you're trying to be calm, but other people keep making you angry? Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jeremiah. What to do if you're angry all the time? A lot of people are angry all the time. There's a lot to be angry at. Remember, there used to be a bumper sticker a long time ago. It said, if you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. So yeah, there's a lot to be angry at. Now, what is it that gets people started at being angry? Injustice. Injustice. And when is the injustice? When is it noted? When is it first noted? In early childhood. You know, let's say you have a typical situation where you have a mom in a supermarket with her grocery basket, and the little child is sitting in the grocery basket, and the little child reaches and grabs something like a box of cereal, and the mother rips it out of the child's hands. Not just takes it out, or not saying, go ahead and look at it, but then we're going to have to put it back. No, she rips it out of the child's hand. There's something wrong with that. The anger is wrong. The impatience is wrong. The ripping it out of the child's hands is wrong. The not taking a moment to explain or to talk or just to let the child look at it. What's the harm in it? The rushing like in a big hurry. It's all wrong. So is it injustice? Well, that may not be the perfect word for it, but basically it's all wrong. And the child gets angry. Well, what would you do if you were at the office and you had your iPhone or something and somebody ripped it out of your hand? Or you were eating your sandwich and somebody ripped the sandwich out of your hand? It's not fair. It's unjust. It's wrong. The little child sees that. See, little children have light. They are fresh from God, and they have light. And the child simply sees what it is. What it is what it is, and the child sees what is, and sees that there's something wrong with it. And the child gets angry. And then what happens? Typically then, the mother gets angry, and it doesn't have to be the mother. It could be the dad, it could be an aunt, it could be an uncle, it could be a grandma, grandpa, it could be the babysitter, it could be the au pair, it could be anybody. I'm just using the mother as an example. Then she gets angry at the child. See, she started it by ripping the thing out of the child's hand. Then she gets angry at the child for being angry. And then she says something. She ups the ante. If there's nobody close by, she says, if you ever do that again, if you don't quiet down, we're never going to the store again. And when we get home, you're going directly to bed without dinner. That's even worse. Now the child is crying. Out of total anger, total frustration, a total feeling of helplessness. And it's unjust. So the very one who should represent justice and fairness and kindness and long-suffering and patience and wisdom, the very one is the perpetrator. And then maybe dad is there. But dad is a non-factor. He's a weak people pleaser. He goes along to get along. Mr. Nice Guy. So mom is screaming at the child, and dad just sits there and says nothing. That's an injustice too, because dad is really the one. He should say, now, just a minute now. Maybe she shouldn't have grabbed that box of cereal, but, it's not fair to yell at her for that. Dad could intervene and set a good example and correct what's in error. And what is in error? The error was in the parent who ripped the box from the child's hand. So I don't need to go on with it. It's quite clear. So that's how it begins. But it's everywhere. You go to school, teachers have pets. You go to school, there's unfairness and arbitrary rules, and some people get away with stuff and some don't. And you go out in society, and then people steal your stuff. Other kids steal your stuff, or they push you down, or they tease you, or they call you names. Just injustice everywhere. And wrong. And lies. And then cover up. See, a lot of times it's not the thing that's done, but then it's the cover up. It's the lying about it. And it's just trying to make the one who was the victim, blame the victim. That's it. We all know that's wrong, don't we? Well, that's what happens with kids. Kids are blamed. Mother's in a bad mood and is mean to the child. The child starts to cry, and then the child is blamed. The babysitter is doing wrong things. When the parent is gone, the babysitter is talking to her friends on her iPhone and watching television and doing things she's not supposed to do. And the child sees that and sees that it's wrong. Tries to point it out. What happens? Somehow the child is punished for that. Or later when mommy comes home, Mommy, the babysitter was looking in your drawers in your bedroom, and she took something out. And she was talking to her friends on the iPhone, and one of her friends came over. And they scared me. No, don't say that about... Let me ask her, did that happen? No, it didn't happen. See, she says it didn't. So the babysitter is a very nice person. You mustn't make up stories about her. See? Injustice. Do I need to go on? So now, the most important thing is to understand that that's how it began a long time ago. And after years and years and years of reacting and suppressing, a lot of people are just filled with anger. So then we could go on. How about boyfriends that lie and take advantage? Or girlfriends that lie and take advantage? So you have betrayal and wrong everywhere. But then here's the problem. A couple of problems. One thing is you start to become sensitive to it. When you react to things, you become sensitive to them. The more you react, the more sensitive you get. In other words, if you react to some, I don't know, some people, they react to some chemical in their clothing or something. But then after that, they become very sensitive. And all they have to do is just touch their skin a little bit, and it already becomes red. You see what I mean? It's a learned response. The body learns to swell. It learns to get red. The skin learns. See, it's a learned response. And then you become more and more sensitive. So the same thing happens with anger. It sensitizes you. And then pretty soon you start watching for it. Oh, he didn't say good morning to me. And oh, she looks like she thinks she's better than me. And so on. You become overly sensitive to everything. And then you're angry at everything. And then your boyfriend cheats on you and you're angry. Then you see another boy and you think he looks just like your boyfriend, so you hate him and you're angry at him because he looks like your boyfriend. You figure he's probably the same type. You get it? But pretty soon you're angry at everything. Angry at everybody, totally sensitive. Your health starts to go haywire, upset tummy and headache and everything else from being angry all the time. And then you get angry at that. Then you go to the doctor and they give you pills and you have side effects and you're angry at that. And then the bills come and you're angry at the bills. See, you're just angry at everything. So what you have to do is take a mental step back. Take a time out. Take a mental step back. And take a meditation every morning. Take one of my meditations every morning. And one at lunch, and one at dinner time, okay? Or in the evening. 3 meditations a day. Each of them maybe 5 minutes. That's enough. And stand back and just watch. And then see, remember when you were a little child, you saw what it is. Well, now just see what it is. See that you're angry all the time. See that you're so angry, you're not even sure whether the people that you're angry at really should be angry at them. Just see all of that. And learn to watch people without being angry. See, that's the fault. And the fault, you couldn't help it when you were a little child, but get angry. But now you're a big adult. And we all know that as we get older, we're supposed to become calmer, wiser, more reasonable, right? When you're on the airplane and the airline pilot is there flying the airplane, you don't want him or her to get angry, do you, and get all upset, start throwing things around? No, you want them to be calm. How about your doctor? How about your dentist? You want them to be calm. So, if you could calm down a little bit and begin to do the meditation and learn to watch and realize that there's judgment involved in your anger. Now, when you were a little child, you were just flat out angry. But then later, something else crept in as you got older. It was judgment and resentment. So now maybe what you should see now is that there is judgment and resentment. Maybe now what you should see is that there's judgment and resentment involved in your angers. And you have to let those go. See the injustice. Don't hate the person. See the person is making an error. See that the person is wrong even. See that the person is even wrong on purpose. They're doing it on purpose. Don't hate them. Realize there's something operating through them. Once upon a time they were a little child too. And injustice was done to them. Now they're doing to others what was done to them. So see that and begin to let go of the judgment and let go of the resentment. And then all that's left is some of your anger, and a lot of it will diminish. You'll notice if you start to let go of the judgment and resentment, the anger will diminish. Some of it will be left, or some of the symptoms, some of the sequelae of the anger will still be there. Watch them. Don't resent them. Don't be angry at them. Don't be angry at God. Don't be angry at yourself. Don't resent yourself. Don't resent anybody, including yourself. And just watch. And they too will begin to diminish, and your body will restore. Your body fixes itself quite a bit too. Right now, you're so angry all the time, your body doesn't have time to fix itself. So anger and resentment, they only add another layer of complication to what's there. So let that go. Let it go. And instead of being angry, meditate. And if you do go out in the world and you get angry, then just see that you got angry. Say, all right, I blew it, I got angry. If you go out in the world and all of a sudden you see resentment, okay, there it is. Just see it. Don't resent yourself for being resentful. Don't get angry at yourself for being angry. Very simple.